tunatarajia kama taifa. Tunashukuru Mungu ya kwamba hata baada ya shughuli hiyo mmeendelea kushirikiana, kuongea, kushauriana ili tuweze kusaidiana kama taifa, kwa sababu taifa letu litasonga mbele kama wewe utaendelea kushirikiana na viongozi wote. So Your Excellency, I just want to take this opportunity just to thank you and also to thank Prime Minister RAILA Odinga for the continued collaboration during our quest as a country for the leadership of the African Union Commission. And even if that activity did not bring us success, we are very grateful because it has solidified our unity, profiled our country well, and today Africa knows that Kenya is a strong nation and Kenya has a big contribution to make for the success of Africa. So Your Excellency, my task this morning is just to maybe invite the two of you to make some remarks as you may find necessary, so that you can help us navigate the future going forward. And without much ado, I want to invite the Prime Minister to make a few comments, and after he finishes, he can invite you to make your comments, Your Excellency. Welcome, Prime Minister RAILA Odinga.
Your Excellency, na viongozi wote ambao wamefika hapa, hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Now I'm delighted to be back home. You see, east, west, north, south, home is best. I feel very, very happy and delighted to be back to Kenya after what we went through. And I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you, the President, the Deputy, the Ministers, the leaders, and Kenyans generally, who traveled with us this journey across the length and the breadth of the continent of Africa. This was an enterprise that has been an eye-opener. It gave us opportunity to understand our continent better, to engage and talk with the leaders across the whole continent of Africa, north, south, east, west. We now know more clearer the challenges that faced our continent. I have an opportunity to meet with over 40 presidents of African countries in their own capitals, and talk to them not just about my candidature, but also listen to them tell me the challenges that they are facing as countries. If you listen to the talks, you see that problems are facing our continent are very similar in nature. And you also get to realize that most of them, of course, are historical. The roots in the way Africa has, and the way the neo-colonial system has continued to exploit Africa after political independence. So we came up with a program to make Africa work. We came up with a program first to bring peace to silence the guns in the continent. Because without peace there can be no development. And all over Africa guns are singing, as part of the resolution that was made in 2013 to silence them by 2020. We came up with a very ambitious program of infrastructure development to interconnect our continent. We also came up with a program of how to tackle the issue of climate change. Created quite a bit of awareness in the continent. And I'm very grateful for the reception that I received throughout the continent. And finally, we went to Addis. Before we went to Addis, the women of Kenya, Orange Women, hosted a prayer meeting for me in Bomas of Kenya. They prayed for me, for the God of Kenya to give me victory. And I told them, look, I'm going to Addis, and you shouldn't be worried. You shouldn't be worried at all. Because I was actually picking this from a story I got from a friend of mine. But you should never worry at all. If you are sick, don't be worried. There are only two things that can happen to you. You can recover or you can die. If you recover, there's nothing to worry about. But if you die, you've also nothing to worry about. Because if you die as a Christian or as a Muslim, you have only two places to go to. Either you go to heaven or you go to hell. So if you go to heaven, there is nothing to worry about. To enjoy. But if you go to hell, you should not worry. Why? Because you're going to meet so many of your friends there that you'll take a lot of time greeting them and wishing them well, that you will not have time to worry about. So I told them that, look, if we win in Addis, we will have succeeded. But if we don't win, if we lose, we will also have succeeded. Why? Because we will have other jobs to do. We'll come back home and do other things. So we have succeeded because we will now come back home to join you people here, back home. So I am very grateful to be back home. I want to thank again my brother, younger brother, President William Ruto, who stood by me. He never asked me to run. I announced myself that I was going to run for this position of chair of African Union Commission. And he only came after I made the announcement to say that he was supporting my candidature. And he did support my candidacy, not just by words, but by deeds. He put up the machinery to help the campaign for me. I've seen billions being said, quoted. Somebody's talking about 13 billion shillings spent on the RAILA campaign. I don't know in which world those guys live on, whether they know what a billion means. A billion shillings to do what? The money that was spent was the money that was necessary just to hire transport to travel around. And we were not living luxuriously. We were eating whatever was given to us wherever we went to. And many other African countries were very generous. They provided us accommodation and so on. So, but the government gave what was required. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs was available 24/7. And the other government departments to make appointment for me to be able to meet the leadership across the continent. So I want to thank my brother very profusely for their support. And I also want to thank the other leaders across the continent, those who voted for us. There are those who stood with us to the last moment and voted. And if we had wanted, we would have completely stopped the elections because they require 2/3 to be elected. And these leaders were ready to go with us to the end, and they would not have been able to get the 2/3. So I thank them. And I also thank those who voted against us, because in doing so they were exercising their democratic right. That's how democracy works. So we are not bitter at all. I congratulated my competitors, the candidate from Madagascar, the candidate from Djibouti, who eventually won, and wish him well, indeed. So we are available to help the continent of Africa, but more importantly, we are also available for Kenya. I'm back home here. I'm going to meet with my friends, my supporters, and I'm going to consult widely what's going on forward. And in due course, we're going to announce our way forward. So we'll give a way forward very, very shortly. Today, we just came to meet. I asked for this meeting to come and thank the President and his team for the support they've given me, and also to thank the Kenyans who have supported me throughout all this period of campaign. And I just want to say, watch this space. I will be talking again. Thank you very much. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Prime Minister Raila Odinga, distinguished leaders who are here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also echo the words that have been ably put by both the Deputy President and Prime Minister Raila Odinga, that this morning we met here to bring closure to our candidature as a country through Raila Odinga for the Africa Union Commission Chair. As you are all aware, when Prime Minister Raila Odinga announced that he wanted to run for the position of Africa Union Commission Chair, as President and leader of this country, Raila Odinga being a leader in our country and a candidate, I took the position that this was not about Raila Odinga the person. It was equally about Kenya the country. And we processed his candidature through cabinet, and cabinet took the decision that we were going to deploy support from the government of Kenya, as has been done before, to support the candidature of Raila Odinga. I am very proud that Raila Odinga put forth a formidable, serious candidature across the African continent. He was available for all the appointments that were made for him. He made journeys on air and on the road to different capitals, different cities, to canvass his candidature on his own behalf and on behalf of Kenya. His candidature brought all Kenyans together. I think his candidature attracted support from the different political sides, people in the opposition, people in government, everybody. We were united behind the candidature of Raila Odinga for the Africa Union Commission chair. And this morning, we take the opportunity to thank everybody who made a contribution, big and small, to the candidature that was put forward by Kenya of Prime Minister Raila Odinga. I wish to thank my brothers and colleagues across the continent of Africa for their show of solidarity and the support they extended to Kenya and to Raila Odinga as he put forward his candidature. And also thank them that when it became necessary that we make the decision not to have a stalemate and not to end up with a situation where there would be no chair, they also made the patriotic decision to support whoever eventually won. So as a continent, we are proud that we went through an election. Every candidate, including Kenya, was given the opportunity, but ultimately we remain as a united continent with an Agenda 2063 that Kenya is going to continue to contribute robustly as we build the necessary infrastructure and network to support intra-Africa trade that has the biggest potential, to support energy transmission and generation, to support agro-processing and value addition across our continent, and to continue to tap into the enormous opportunity that exists for trade and investment in our continent. I also wish to take this opportunity to thank all Kenyans of goodwill who prayed, who gave support in different ways for us to achieve this candidature and to support the Honorable Raila Odinga. Let me also thank the officials, many officials at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other state departments. Many ministers were available, many other public officials were available. People in embassies across Africa made their contribution by ensuring that there was adequate preparation for the various visits that were undertaken and all the other support that was required for us to take the candidature to where it got. This morning, as has been said, both by the DP and Prime Minister Raila Odinga, we close ranks as a country and focus on what we can do for Kenya. The things that require our collective effort. As an administration that is now broad-based, there is every reason for us to accelerate the momentum for the delivery of the things that will transform our nation. And I must be grateful that the necessary political capital that is required to move transformative programs in our country now exists courtesy of the broad-based government, and we will continue to focus on developing the things, the programs, and the policies that will catapult our country to the next level. And we need all hands on deck to be able to achieve this vision and mission. And therefore, this afternoon, let me proudly say, my good brother Raila Odinga, you represented Kenya very well. We had, I must say this, I have supported many people in the past, but we had a fantastic candidate. He was present, he was available, and he did what needed to be done. So to all of you and to the people of Kenya, it is again a proud moment for us to receive you back home and to engage with you as we drive the development of our country, as we engage in the nation-building exercise, and as we broaden and widen our engagement as the people of Kenya towards achieving that which will bring equity, that which will bring prosperity, and that which will bring transformation for our nation. So I want to say thank you very much for those of you who have made it to this small function. We have many issues now going into the future. I will be in this part of the course for the next 1 week on matters development and to see how we can harness all the energies and the opportunities we have for pushing our development forward. Among the things we will be doing this week is to sign off investment into the Dongo Kundu Special Economic Zone. The president of the Afri-Exim Bank will be here on Friday. And finally, we have an investment roadmap for the Dongo Kundu that will unlock the huge industrial potential of the port of Mombasa and the coast region, and for our country as well, and all the other things that we'll be doing in between, the road programs, the electricity programs, and all the other programs that we will be engaged in. And I want to thank the leadership of the coast region for putting all the programs together as we focus on the transformation of our country. So to all of you, I want to say thank you very much. Asanteni sana. As former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, there will be extensive consultations across the political divide as we work towards the unity of our country and the progress of Kenya. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. Asante. Welcome to lunch.